Hey there, everybody. Thanks for all the engagement. Want to just recap the day. Just number one is you'd be surprised how many people are actually watching you from afar, especially if you're active on social media or even not active, right? And so what was interesting today is I got a call from the recruiting director. His name is Ben for the entire state, and he was meeting with a couple advisors at another firm. Let's call this gentleman James, and James works at another firm, and he's looking at joining our company. And the interesting thing is that James is actually connected and watching me on Instagram. And in meeting with Ben, the recruiting director, James goes, "Hey, I'm actually very familiar with Principal. I was actually talking to one of your advisors up in central Wisconsin named Sherman, and I love how positive he is." And the funny thing is that the recruiting director says, "That's funny because I'm also really good friends with him and we connect on Snapchat. Let me see what he snapped today." And unfortunately, I didn't snap anything today. But either way, it was just really funny. Interesting, number one, is that people are watching what you put out there, and hopefully you're giving some impact in a good way, in a positive way. It doesn't have to be your why, it doesn't have to be your purpose, but it can just be that you're trying to help inspire others either to get into your industry, to have better days, to be supportive, to be a cheerleader. I think there's a lot of value in being that positive message and outcome for people. And so that was a unique, a really fun phone call to be able to have today. The other one is had a great doctor's appointment this morning. Found out we're gonna have another boy, so that's super exciting. That'll be the fourth. And so that's a lot of fun. And the other thing is, from a work standpoint, talked to one of my buddies. He runs a surveying business down in Milwaukee, and one of the struggles he's running into is finding talent. And when the economy goes to around a 4% unemployment rate, that's basically as good as it's going to get. There's just typically people that don't want to work. Even though they say they do, they say that they're looking for jobs, but they can't find employment, or they have a hard time keeping jobs down, or they're just the natural attrition and the de-evolution or the laying off of businesses, right? Not every business is going upwards from a standpoint of hiring employees, and so sometimes there's this retraction, and so that's just going to happen in the economy. So 4% is a really good unemployment, and so what you're finding right now is really an employee's marketplace. If you're a really hard worker, if you have the discipline, you're more of an entrepreneur, right? Where you can take on different projects, you're going to be able to be much more impactful. And so I was having a conversation with him. And I said, what's interesting is, like, a month ago, I ran into a guy on social, right? He saw that I'd posted. I lived in Weston. He just moved up here from Milwaukee. He and I connected face to face, had a great conversation. And then he was in construction management. And so I told my buddy, he was having an internship up here, and I said, let me see if he knows any good, hardworking people down there in Milwaukee. So I reached out to him today, and he's like, yeah, I'll give your buddy a call. So and my buddy was just really appreciative that I would go out of my way to reach into the network and see if there's anybody that could work with him. The amazing thing is he needs 5 people to come work with him because the business is so heavy, which is awesome. You want to be able to hear about that. That's that kind of success, especially if they're friends of yours. And then after that, it was heading off to Cub Scouts, dropping the boys off. The other son is in Boy Scouts. I really like scouting organization because it really teaches leadership, gives people the opportunity, the young boys, the opportunity to learn leadership and to be very diverse, right? So they learn things about like citizenship of the world, of the nation, of the community. So you get local, then nation, then global. And then the other thing that you start doing is you do obviously the outdoors, those activities, fitness, and so it can be a great, well-rounded approach to expose your young boys to. And then while they were there, the dens, they were all running their own program. So I ran off to the gym and did kind of a CrossFit-ish kind of a routine. I wanted to do 10 reps all the way down to 1. Started out with a minute, and then every single time I dropped off 10 seconds of jump rope. And then I did 10 pull-ups. Then I went to the back extensions, did 10 there. Then I did dips, did 10 there. Then I did 10 burpees. And then I did 10 kettlebells. And then the next cycle, instead of a minute of jump rope, it was 50 seconds. Then it was 9 reps all the way through. And ended up basing on time. We got to around 6:50. And so around 7:20, had to finish it off to go get the boys. And so it was 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So I was able to get in 5 sets. Felt good about that. Had just got a good sweat on, And I like to change up my exercise routine to be able to just have a different variety that's going on. One thing that, and then for then we picked up the boys, and then they had a little celebration. Got them little shamrock shakes for a celebration of baby, finding gender out. And then we're going to, and then I came home. One thing I realized that I need to be able to do is just audit and really document what I consume, because I have a tendency to snack on junk food, right? And now, of course, if you don't buy it, you don't eat it. And so I should probably start there at the grocery store. And I definitely have a sweet tooth, and I love soda. I'll use that word because it's just this, I really enjoy it. So need to be able to cut that out of the diet, especially because I did the cleanse in the beginning part of February. I want to keep that leanness going. And oftentimes, when it comes to exercise, the only benefit is if you make sure that you put in your body good things. If you're trying, and no, not trying, you're working at having a more lean body. So for me, just so you know, when it comes to exercise, number one, it's a huge stress release for me. I really get a lot of enjoyment and satisfaction out of it. The other thing that I would say is that it is, for me, I'm not getting drafted, right, by any professional teams. It's a lifestyle choice. I want to be able to live a long, healthy life as long as possible. And so that's why I enjoy, that's why I exercise. Now, it took about a year and a half to really start to enjoy it. So if you're at the beginning part of your stage of exercise, know that that's the case. And the other thing that I would say when people exercise is, don't always think you have to go to a gym, right? Especially if you're in a community where, maybe there's a beach or a lake by. Walking is a huge help for a lot of people that don't want to go for a run, don't want to lift weights. You don't have to do that. So find out what you enjoy doing, and then try to be as active as possible. So hope you have a fantastic evening. Talk to you later.